Being in a relationship with an avoidant partner can sometimes feel like walking a tightrope. One day, they're warm and present, and the next, they're distant and unresponsive. This back-and-forth dynamic can leave you feeling emotionally drained, questioning your own worth, and wondering, is this relationship toxic, or is it just complicated? While not every relationship with an avoidant partner is toxic, some patterns can become harmful over time if left unchecked. In this video, we'll explore the signs of a toxic dynamic with an avoidant, how to tell if your relationship is crossing that line, and what you can do to protect your emotional well-being. It's important to understand that avoidants aren't inherently toxic people. Their behavior is often a reflection of their attachment style, shaped by past experiences that taught them to prioritize emotional independence over vulnerability. However, when these behaviors clash with your emotional needs, it can create a dynamic that feels toxic, especially if there's a lack of communication or effort to meet halfway. A toxic relationship with an avoidant often involves feelings of chronic neglect or emotional starvation. You might find yourself constantly seeking validation, only to be met with withdrawal or avoidance. Over time, this pattern can erode your self-esteem, leaving you feeling like you're not enough or that your needs are unreasonable. This isn't about blaming either partner. It's about recognizing when the dynamic is causing more harm than good. One of the clearest signs of toxicity in a relationship with an avoidant is a constant sense of emotional imbalance. You might feel like you're always the one giving, whether it's initiating conversations, planning time together, or trying to address issues, while your partner remains distant or disengaged. This one-sided effort can leave you feeling exhausted and unsupported. Another red flag is when their withdrawal triggers extreme emotional responses in you, such as anxiety, insecurity, or even resentment. While it's natural to feel upset when your partner pulls away, these heightened reactions could indicate that the relationship is amplifying unresolved wounds or attachment anxieties within you. Toxicity can also show up in the form of dismissiveness. If your partner consistently minimizes your feelings, avoids accountability, or refuses to engage in meaningful conversations about the relationship, it can create a sense of isolation. Over time, this lack of emotional reciprocity can make you question your own perceptions and even feel like you're the problem. It's crucial to acknowledge that toxicity in a relationship isn't always one-sided. Sometimes our own behaviors, such as over-pursuing, making excessive sacrifices, or ignoring our own boundaries, can contribute to the dynamic. If you find yourself constantly trying to fix the relationship or suppressing your needs to avoid conflict, it's a sign that your emotional health may be taking a back seat. This doesn't mean the toxicity is your fault, but recognizing your role in the dynamic empowers you to make changes. Healthy relationships require mutual effort and accountability. If you're the only one actively working to improve things, it's worth reflecting on whether the relationship is truly sustainable. If you've identified signs of toxicity in your relationship with an avoidant partner, the first step is to communicate your concerns openly and calmly. Avoid blaming or accusing language, as this can trigger defensiveness and further withdrawal. Instead, focus on expressing your feelings and needs in a way that invites collaboration. For example, saying, "I've been feeling disconnected lately, and I'd love to find ways for us to reconnect," opens the door for dialogue without making your partner feel attacked. It's also essential to set boundaries. If certain behaviors, like stonewalling, dismissiveness, or consistent emotional neglect, are harming your well-being, let your partner know what's acceptable and what isn't. Boundaries aren't about controlling the other person, they're about protecting your own emotional health. At the same time, prioritize self-care. Relationships with avoidance can be emotionally taxing, so it's vital to have outlets that replenish your energy and self-worth. Whether it's spending time with supportive friends, pursuing hobbies you love, or seeking therapy, nurturing yourself helps you approach the relationship from a place of strength rather than desperation. Sometimes, No matter how much effort you put into the relationship, the dynamic remains unhealthy. If your avoidant partner is unwilling to engage, take accountability, or make changes, it might be time to consider whether staying in the relationship is in your best interest. Love should never come at the expense of your mental or emotional health. Walking away doesn't mean you've failed, it means you're choosing to prioritize your well-being. Leaving a toxic dynamic can be one of the most empowering decisions you'll ever make, creating space for healthier, more fulfilling connections in the future. Not every relationship with an avoidant is toxic, but it's important to recognize when the dynamic is causing harm. By identifying the signs of toxicity, setting clear boundaries, and prioritizing your emotional health, you can either work toward a healthier relationship or make the difficult decision to step away. Remember, you deserve a partnership that feels supportive, balanced, and safe. If you'd like to learn more about navigating relationships with avoidant partners and building healthier connections, I've written several books that explore these topics in depth. You'll find the links to those in the description below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experiences or questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.